Hi guys, we're looking at the Cardano weekly update today with Wyckoff analysis at the background. So over the past few weeks, the price has been like dropping drastically until this week. There seems to be a little bit of breathing room. So let's see whether that's the case and whether there's any indication from the chart itself that's tell us more. So let's take a quick look. So this is the weekly chart of Cardano, and over here we see these 5 red candles that I just mentioned, and it seems like there's a little bit of support around this white line. So what's this white line? If you're new to this, you see this long-term playground zone at the bottom, right? So that's what it is. If I shrink the chart a little, you can see this is actually but the boundary since like all the way back to 2018, that it looks to me the bottom, the absolute bottom, and like the more relevant, I wouldn't say like top, so it's like we see these new crazy all-time highs, right? But they are not the majority. So the majority of time the price is staying below this top. So that's how I determine this long-term playground zone. So right now we are basically playing around the top edge of this playground zone. So that's why I have to explain to some new joiners what this is. So this, looking at here, we have tested it in April, late March and early April, and now getting into June, this support level is being retested again. So I've talked about this many times in the past sessions. If nothing crazy around the world is happening, basically the price is just bouncing between this purple and the white, as it has been like that since March. So we are already over 3 months roughly within this range, except like this test over here. I think that's probably around the trade or tariffs announcement period. Right now we've got the war in Middle East, in addition to Eastern Europe, and also the G7 summit going on. So any of these plus potential like earthquakes around the world, whether there would be a mega earthquake coming out, that's going to probably drive the price to break either this purple line or this white line. So that's the big picture. And in terms of Wyckoff, even other coins have like offer us basically like a test above buying climax, or even after first of the distribution. For Cardano, we've only seen 2 second tests that's at a lower level than the buying climax. So it would be interesting if Cardano would be able to like break above the purple and even the green, because that has to be something very big, especially for Cardano itself. Like industry-wide, I wouldn't see that. If that news is industry-wide good news, that may drive it to go above the purple, but probably not the green. So that's how I see it. So as of this moment, still between white and purple, as we have seen for a while. So back to the daily chart. Last week I already mentioned, it'll be interesting when the price given is traveling within this blue box. Last week I shared this is the key point where the blue is cutting into, trying to cross the pink and the white. So I mentioned if the price can find support and stay above these line, they're basically the same level. I draw a tiny gap over there so we can see both lines. Then maybe like it's a sign of relief, and basically Cardano would still be traded within this range between somewhere around 84 cents down to 64 cents. So basically to like 20 cents kind of range that Cardano has been trading since even February, as early as that. It's only just these 5-6 days over here in early March that the price was outside of this particular lower half of this short-term playground zone. So you see the text on the top, right? So over here. So that's how it is like right now. So people have been trading and would still be trading. Like I said, if there's no particularly good or bad news, that's the range for Cardano. If it does break out like positive upside, so if it's outside of the 84 cents zone, the obvious boundary would be the $1.18. So it's basically a resistance line set by these tops earlier in the year, or like late last year. If it's negative, what would happen? What are the boundaries? So let's take a look. So this one we already know, 64 cents, that's where it's hovering right now. Over here there would be some support around this level. Let me draw a line. I guess roughly here. By looking at all these trading activities and peaks and troughs, so that's around 41 cents. So I'll keep this line over here just in case the price come down, and that will be our next reference after the bottom of the pink box and the top of the white box. So I'll keep it at this daily interval only. So that's pretty much it for Cardano. I'll move on to Tron next.